listening to the Clutch and Wiggle Entertainment Radio Network on CWEradio.com. Clutch and Wiggle Entertainment Radio. Uncensored internet talk radio, sports, sex, political and entertainment news. Because what else would an immature adult want to listen to?
The Clutch and Wiggle experience is for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised. Things that offend you may include, but are not limited to, flatulation, setting flatulation on fire, defecation, urination, spelling words with urination, motorboating, masturbation, vaginal, oral, or anal sex, ATM, or foul language. Now please enjoy the Clutch and Wiggle experience.
So you, the listener, like live internet radio and podcast, right? Well, what about ones broadcast atop a real air hockey table? What about ones that turn legit fecal subject matter into pure entertainment? According to PodGods Network CEO Adam Barker, this is the raunchiest show on their network. This show was once referenced as the Ron and Fez of internet radio. They'll never be number one, but they're always in the conversation. So who is this show? Well, it's the Clutch and Wiggle experience. Meet Rob, a.k.a. Clutch.
Hold on to your panties. What good is a voice on radio? I want to see pictures. What? We're the raunchiest. Who can talk about shit coming out of one's anus and make it funny?
Meet Craig, a.k.a. Wiggle.
A cunt with great shoes is still a cunt. I barely do any work around here as it is. If I have to do any more, I'm gonna need a pay increase. I bowled a 258 in a pink bunny suit drinking vodka. I'm the fucking man. Look, I'm just glad that you're wearing the high heels because when you're in the kitchen, you can reach the high shelf in the cabinets, get the things that you need. Alright, and when you're done making my dinner and cleaning up, at least I know that I don't have to do anything to assist with that.
And on third mic is Lovable Ditz.
I'm a ditz. What can I say? I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth next. Yeah, you got to have that hoe in there. Whether I spit, whether I swallow is a subject for another day. Boobs are awesome. I'll be honest, women's shit. Big old piles of it. You guys are easy. I could just sit here and just say pussy, 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 pussy.
Nah, that's do it.
You guys be happy for it? Happy as clams.
So, have you ever experienced the Clutch and Wiggle? Well, you're about to.
Yes, indeed he is. We scarfed down some Sonic Rooney. Oh, man. It's going to be a rough show, folks. Clutch and Wiggle experience. CWEradio.com. I don't think I'm going to die. We're also live this week on the Indie Authority. Go to IndieAuthority.com. Whew. Yeah, buddy, you might have to take over for a little while.
I think that's a very good idea.
Yeah, Merry Ho 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 Christmas to everybody who's listening. Whew.
Christmas can go fuck itself.
All right,
We'll get to that later.
Give it a minute. Jesus, Christmas.
You gonna make it?
I hope so.
I'm not so sure. I'm like chewing right into my microphone too because I gotta,
Eat?
I'm gonna help you out.
Yeah. 201-467-5413 is the number you get to dial if you want to talk to us during this live event here.
Don't expect much out of us in the next 10 minutes, though, because we're eating.
And trying to digest. If you have Skype, just look up Clutch and Wiggle. One word, 3 little parts of it or whatever. One long word, 3 Clutch and Wiggle. There's 3 things you put together, and boom, there you go. You have Skype, right?
Boom, there you go.
Hey, boom, there you go.
That was burrito number 1. 2 more to go.
Gee, you're a fat ass, man.
Fucking assholes. Again.
Yes.
I get fucked at the drive-thru. At least I said to the guy when he handed me the food, I'm like, all 5 are in there? He's like, yeah. Like, all right,
did he
good.
burp? He really did burp in
No,
your
I
ear?
couldn't. I didn't have it in me. I waited there for 40 minutes, so I got all the air out of my body.
Oh, good. I like that. I really do. I like that. I like the fact that you're pushing out the air before you get on air.
I should totally be one of those commercial guys. Those guys they're just terrible.
Of course, they're all hacking and everything else. What do you want?
We're way better than them.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure you're putting on me, man.
All right, I'm way better than them.
All right.
All by myself. I could be alone in a car and be like, hey, I'm eating Sonic. I'm going to sound like a moron. And, ooh, look at this, food. I'm going to eat a lot more of it. And you should eat it, too. That's why I'm advertising Sonic. It's good shit.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Just
eat some Sonic.
Just put you in a car in an Oriental and you're ready to go for the next Sonic commercial, aren't you?
What the hell does an Oriental have to do with it?
Well, one of them was
I
like
don't
a
need to
limo
buy
driver.
a rug. I missed that because I was speaking. I'm sorry. What did you say?
That's okay.
No, I want to hear it.
Let me eat my tot, though.
Okay. I said I don't know what I'd need an Oriental for. I don't need to buy a rug.
I heard you.
But what did you say?
I said you put you in the back of the car and an Oriental in the front because that's one of their latest commercials where the Oriental is
Oh man, I'm like I don't know if I'm burping or growling. So an Oriental, I believe that's actually Asian.
Asian American.
That's PC. Well, I don't know what country they're in, but
Oh, they're in the United States. Well, let's just hope they're not near anywhere Louisiana.
are Orientals, as you call it, not allowed in Louisiana?
Apparently, gays aren't, according to Mr. Robinson of Robertson, of Duck Dynasty.
Is that who he is? Because I had no idea when you texted me earlier today and mentioned that name. I'm like, I have no idea who this person is. Mm-hmm. And I mean, through reading actual news websites,
Yes,
I saw that there was a Duck Dynasty character a Duck Dynasty star, if I should use the word,
right.
that said something that I guess a lot of people don't like. Is that who this is? I don't follow
apparently
pop culture stuff very often.
GQ magazine had interviewed the patriarch of the Duck Dynasty Duck Call thing, if you're not aware of it.
Okay. I'm familiar. Duck Dynasty is a TV show about a bunch of hillbillies that sleep with each other and they kill ducks and they make a lot of money. I'm sure that at least some of that statement is accurate.
Yes, very much. And GQ interviewed him, and the magazine came out yesterday, I believe it was.
Okay.
And he said some derogatory things towards the homophobic, or not homophobic, the homo generation.
Okay. What did he have against the gays?
Well, let's just preface this by saying he is a self-proclaimed Bible-thumping Christian. Okay. So as part
Good
of
for him.
Right. So part of the whole Christian thing is, you go by what the Bible says and the holy book of the Christian religious sect and all that shit.
Uh-huh.
Basically that, you're not supposed to be gay. You're only supposed to be with a woman. You're supposed to screw women in the vagina and not in the ass. So he essentially...
I think God forgives you for those times where it slips.
Where it slips?
It can happen. Okay. So carry on.
Well, I'm trying to find the actual stuff that he said to GQ that got him in such hot water, where A&E, the TV network, temporarily suspended him after the outrage from the gay and lesbian and whatever else that thing is, came out and was yelling and screaming at him of why he's using such homophobic and essentially racial slurs and, living in the past and all this other horse shit.
Now, is this going to be one of those topics where the reaction is such a ridiculous overreaction, and maybe all he just said was, oh, well, I don't like gays because I think it's gross, or did he say something that is legitimately hurtful? Because oftentimes, did he say what Michael Richards said?
No.
Where
on
he's
that level,
throwing slurs out on the middle of a comedy stage and just going into a blind rage, or did he say something to the effect of, like Paula Deen, where it's, I made an inappropriate racial comment about 15 years ago, and they essentially crucified her for it.
Right, so essentially in the GQ interview, they had mentioned to Phil Robertson, he was asked, what is his definition of a sinful behavior? And let me just preface you by saying the Clutch and Wiggle experience, we don't usually go through this type of stuff to begin with. This is not essentially a stall tactic while Mr. Wiggle over here eats.
What are you talking about?
So
I'm halfway through burrito number 2, by the way.
All right, well, let's hope burrito number 3 literally doesn't come out of your butthole.
That's burrito number 4.
So GQ had asked him what his definition of sinful behavior was, and essentially he said, start with homosexual behavior and just morph out of there. Then GQ said that he then paraphrases a biblical reference. He says, quote unquote, don't be deceived, neither the adulterers, the idolaters, the male prostitutes, the homosexual offenders, the greedy, the drunkards, the slanderers, that's a lot of ERSs in there, the swindlers, they won't inherit the kingdom of God. Don't deceive yourself, it's not right. He also said, I myself am a product of the 60s, who indulged in sex and drugs until hitting rock bottom and accepting Jesus as a savior. Although his mission is to teach people that men and women are meant to be together, Robertson stated he would never treat anyone with disrespect just because they're different. So essentially, he was basically saying, like, if you're gay, you're not going into heaven kind of thing. And essentially, the gay and lesbian right and all this decided to, get their wads in a roar again and just totally tell, yeah, exactly. Your little eye twitch is
this story makes me want to go from like Bruce Banner to the Incredible Hulk. He came up with an honest, with an honest and I don't want to say politically correct, but the most honest and respectful way to answer that question. How do you feel about, sinners? Well, I think these people are sinners because this is the belief I carry. I'm citing the Bible. I hold my religion very close to me, and then that's how I feel. You ask my opinion. The man is being, I don't want to say, I'm going to say it again, crucified for being asked his opinion, and then when giving it, he's, being attacked by people who disagree with him.
Exactly.
And the network that runs his show is telling him, you're not allowed to have an honest opinion anymore. What did he do wrong?
He opened his mouth. Essentially, this is what it breaks down to. He opened his mouth.
But you see, another difference here is it's not like he was walking down the street,
right,
and opened his mouth when nobody asked. He was asked for a magazine.
See, and
this again wasn't the Michael Richards thing where he's on stage and just goes on a tirade.
Right.
Like, he's doing an interview. To me, it's no different than, do you remember the Miss America pageant a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
With, Carrie Prejean or Prejean, whatever her name was. And they asked her, well, what are your thoughts on homosexual, or what's your thoughts on marriage?
Right.
And she said, the Miss America pageant being what it is, it's, they want you to be
politically correct.
Much more liberal and it's okay for homosexuals to get married, yada, yada, yada. But instead she goes, my own personal belief is I think, the definition of marriage is between a man and a woman only. I think that's just what it should be, and that's just how I feel.
Again.
And for like a year.
Right.
They hung her out to dry. For what? For giving her opinion when asked.
And I think when stuff like this, like GQ magazine is going out to interview. Now, Duck Dynasty, whether you hate it, whether you like it, you just have to realize that this is the most popular reality TV show that is on cable TV at this point in time. A Christmas episode. They've been off for a couple weeks. Yes, I watch it somewhat religiously, okay? I like it. I'm entertained by it. It's 30 minutes where I get to chuckle and not have to worry about the shit that happens outside the four walls of my home. Okay? So, that's right, breathe before you die. So, this is the hottest show on TV. A Christmas episode ended up getting like 11.8 million fucking viewers in one freaking night.
That is ridiculous.
So you see how powerful this show is. So essentially GQ is going to interview these guys. Phil Robertson, this is where Phil Robertson came from. Okay, yeah, he was in the 60s and all that kind of stuff. When he played college football, the famous quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Terry Bradshaw, was his backup for 2 years.
Terry
backup
was his bitch?
Was his bitch for 2 years.
Wow.
I think, for 2 years. But anyway, that's besides the point. So this show, millions of viewers for a Christmas episode. You can only imagine what it gets when it does its, 10 to 13 episodes in a year and all that kind of stuff. So they're going to interview the guy. And you know what? During the show, at the end of the show, they'd say a little prayer and everything. They thank God for the food they have, the family they have, and rub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the grub, yay God, and eat. But then he comes out and says, I honest to God think that GQ magazine goated him.
I was actually thinking the same exact thing, because okay, he's very religious. Okay, people who are very religious don't necessarily approve of gay marriage.
Right.
Duh.
So when you ask him, if you're just going through a back and forth, and then all of a sudden it's like, so, what do you feel this particular word means? All right, you're essentially going through this whole, shindig. And explaining it. And then you have to wonder to yourself, no, not that. That was perfect. You sound like a frog. Right? You have to go and you have to wonder, what's the ulterior motive here? We have millions of viewers. We're selling shit in Walmart and it's flying off the store shelves.
Oh, everything.
Okay, you're in Dick's Sporting Goods thing right next to rifles and Dick's Sporting Goods next to
You're in what?
Dick's Sporting Goods right next to where the rifles and the bow and arrows are and everything else. You're selling duck calls hand over fist. So you're going to do a magazine interview. Okay, fine, whatever. Nobody really interviews Phil. All right. They usually want to do like Willie, his son, or the other sons, and all that kind of stuff.
When was the last time you ever picked up a GQ magazine?
That depends on the size of the boobs that were on the cover.
Seriously?
No.
But that's my point.
Gentleman's Quarterly?
When was the last time you opened a GQ magazine? For me, I bet you it's been over 15 years. I think I was in high school working at the grocery store, and the only reason I even thumbed through it was because I was bored.
Okay.
So, to me, that's all this is. This is GQ making GQ more famous.
Yeah.
Making a paper magazine. Which paper magazines, paper newspapers, paper
newspapers?
Paper media.
Okay.
Paper I say paper newspapers because a lot of newspapers you can read online. That's why I'm saying it that way.
Okay.
They're becoming more and more irrelevant. You could say it's to boost the ratings of the show, but the friggin' network took the guy off the air. So
yes.
What?
And
what's the point there?
And a great fan of ours, Queen Elizabeth, you can follow her on Twitter at Queen Elizabeth with an S. She basically mentioned this earlier today, and I started on Twitter just to make sure that I did a little show prep and mentioned it here on the air. She mentions, I like how A&E is so shocked that a Christian would not condone being gay. It's like being surprised that dogs bark. It's true.
Well said.
It's not because she has a great set of boobs, right? Right. That's right. Just say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep eating your burrito.
Burrito. Oh,
so,
man.
I
should have only gotten 2 of these things.
Okay.
But I'm on a mission.
I think you're on a mission to die today. I don't know.
No.
So essentially, all this ends up being where A&E dumps Phil Robertson or drops him in an indefinite hiatus, as the network says it is disappointed by his anti-gay comments, which is
fucked up.
Which is his own beliefs, not reflective of that of Duck Dynasty or the network. Yet A&E says that it continues to support the lay, lesbian, bi, and tranny community.
Yeah. Because they're just tuning in every night to Duck Dynasty. How many gays, the gay, lesbian...
Yeah, that whole group.
Trans...
Yes.
Whatever. The ones that have different things under the hood, whoever they are. Okay? How many of that group make up the group that even care? Not even watch it, but even care about Duck Dynasty. Would you say it's over 5%?
Maybe.
Like that's pushing it, you think?
Now listen. Now here, you know what? This morning, as I listened to the old radio in the sky, I was listening to my morning show.
Yeah.
Not the one with the curly black hair. That's not live on during
I
the whole
don't
month of
care.
August.
Just talk.
Why are you eating still? Oh.
No, I'm working up the after eating.
Okay. Digestion. Good job.
Poop.
This can upstairs. They mentioned that they started to go through some of the TV channels, okay? And they were, and reading stuff that people were reporting. There was a good handful of people who come out as being gay and everything else, who are mentioning that Phil Robertson has all the right in the world to say whatever he says, and nobody should really get pissed at it, because that's more of like a morality issue or whatever, and they're not like, there's a difference of opinion. He has the right to explain his opinion. What A&E doesn't have to do is censor him, because in the end, this is going to end up being a whole sponsorship thing. They're afraid of losing Dick's Sporting Goods. They're afraid of losing Walmart. They're afraid of losing all these other things. So what do? They jump the gun and they suspend. And that's what it really is. They don't give a crap about, he said something about lesbians and gays and all that kind of stuff. They care about the cash. The cash cow that is Duck Dynasty.
Which, like I said, you're going to offend, all right, you may have, all right, let's say 5% of your viewers are gay. Now you have to look at the 5% that are gay. How many did you even offend? 2 out of that 5? So now it's 2% of them. You're gonna, who cares? And to even add to that, this all started with them asking him what is your opinion?
They egged him on.
It's GQ's fault more than anybody.
Yep.
Any decent interviewer knows the answer he's going to get from a question before he even asks it. So GQ is fucking stupid.
They goaded him into getting another 15 minutes of fame.
Or, no, I shouldn't say or. Adding to my previous points, because of his response, A&E, GQ, and the loudmouth gays that are squawking about this, they're pretty much calling him a hypocrite, no?
And a bigot and everything else.
All right, but let's just stick to one derogatory word.
Sure, hypocrite.
A hypocrite.
Sure.
Okay. Don't you think A&E is being more hypocritical than him because you have an opinion? Well, your opinion's wrong, and we're censoring you from it. Isn't A&E being hypocritical because they don't agree? It's like the kid that you hear about, the one-on-one basketball game. Well, if I can't win, I'm just going to go home. And I'm going to, and the saying is, you take your ball and go home. Oh. Isn't A&E just kind of taking their ball and going home?
Essentially, they did their quote-unquote due diligence. Says, well, you know what? And to piggyback what you just said, they support the gay lesbian.
The lay lesbians, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But in turn, they put on something like this, knowing that something like this could come up, because like religion is part of this show. Every single episode that comes out, at the end, it's like 5 or 10 seconds, and that's it. But it's every single show, so they know what they're getting into.
Okay.
So they're piggybacking onto the fact that, all right, they're bringing religion to this, but then they also support that. So it's all right. It's that two-sided horse shit.
One last point to this, which shows that everybody is a fucking hypocrite, okay? GQ did the interview. GQ was supposed to publish the interview, distribute the magazine. If GQ felt so, had such a strong opinion or of disagreement with him, don't distribute the magazine. Don't print the magazine. Don't put the article in there. Put your money where your mouth is. Okay,
True.
Is my final point. If you really feel that what he said was so wrong, then don't sell the magazine.
Or the other part of it is that, because I'm sure that's a little piece of this interview. I'm sure he sat down for like 2 hours just spewing shit all over the place.
Well, that's a good point to bring up as well.
So this little piece of part of the interview, because I'm sure it wasn't the whole thing, okay, could have been easily highlighted with your little mouse cursor. There's a button on your keyboard that hit delete. When you hit delete, it magically goes away. Yeah, your article goes a couple sentences smaller, so maybe, you need to throw in a little minor ad, perhaps maybe for the Clutch and Wiggle experience at the bottom. But still, you get rid of it.
Oh, yeah, because magazines really have a tough time filling all those pages. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a couple sentences you could just take out. And what they essentially did is they goaded him into this, and not that he needs the money, but you've probably essentially...
GQ needs the money.
No.
That's my point.
No, meaning Phil Robertson.
Yeah.
Not that he needed the money to go and do the Duck Dynasty thing, but you've now taken a person's quote-unquote career in reality TV with this Duck Dynasty thing, and now you've taken that away from him because I'm sure A&E pays them, sponsors pay them, and everything else. So you've now suspended him indefinitely. He no longer gets a paycheck. He's essentially out of work. But just in general terms, he's now out of work. Who is to blame for that? GQ magazine.
And I'm blown away that he answered it in such a respectful way, but still maintaining his own personal integrity. Saying, you know what, I can totally lie and give you the answer you want to hear, but...
Or I can give it in my own way.
But, you know what, I like myself so much, I shouldn't say I can't think of the word, but it's just, I have to give the honest answer because of the integrity that I feel. I feel that I deserve it, not only for the fans of my show, but the people, but for myself. And here's another interesting point. What if he did go the other way and say, you know what, I think it's okay for gays to get married? You think there wouldn't have been a backlash with that? Because he is such a religious figure? Because they sit down and they pray on the show and they thank God for the meals. Don't you think there'd be a backlash from that too? So exactly. You tell me, was there any right answer to that question?
No.
Not at all. So the fact that he was, or your theory that he was goated, I completely agree.
Because he went out and didn't say those cocksucking faggots. No, he said the people who are gay, men should be with women, not men with men. He didn't go out there and just totally rip them apart. He stated a fact of what he knows from the Bible. Whatever it goes on in his brain. I'm not going to quote it, word for word or whatever, but I'm Catholic, by the way. Do I believe everything in there? No. It was how many billions of years ago, essentially, okay? This is 2013. I really don't care what they did back then. I really don't. But anyway, that's a side topic. But yeah, so Phil Robertson goes for an interview with GQ, and essentially GQ gets him fired because he said something that's so insensitive to the gay people that it just ruined their worlds. Half these fucking people don't even know who the hell Phil Robertson is.
I was one of them until about 20 minutes ago.
And let me ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
If GQ picked up some shit dick, right, on the sidewalk, let's just say you, and said, what do you think about...
Whoa. How did I just suddenly become a shit dick?
Because I mentioned you.
Okay.
Asks you a question. Excuse me, sir, I don't even know your name or who you are, but I think you're
Mr. Wiggle.
I think it's Craig Wiggle from the Clutch and Wiggle experience. What do you think about the gays?
I think they're gay.
Okay.
And if they don't like my response, then they're too sensitive. Put that in your article, douchebag. You know what I think about interviewers, too?
What?
You're assholes.
So then, essentially, with that whole little spiel right there, the gay and lesbian should actually come running after you, pitchforks and everything else.
Don't ever say the gay and lesbian should come at
after
all.
you? How about
yes.
How about behind you?
I was just about to take another bite of my burrito.
Of your nice fat meat burrito?
I'm not so sure I want to now with the jalapeno. It's spicy.
Ooh, they're going to like your butt, aren't they? All hot and warm. Maybe brown. I'm really trying to make you spit all that shit out.
It's going to burn when I'm done.
That's right. The Clutch and Wiggle experience.
I'm going to get ring sting from this.
Ring stink?
Wait, ring sting.
Oh.
I guess you don't read the Maxim magazine anymore.
No, I don't get them anymore.
No? Oh. No. I guess that's... All right. They had an article about guys that eat hot peppers and grow hot peppers, and The one guy referred to a term as ring sting.
We'll have to discuss that on a future show.
I thought it was fantastic, and I'm so upset with myself that I never thought of it first.
It's topical. Yes, the Clutch and Wiggle experience, mental masturbation for those who are immature adults. That's what we're going to try to go with from now on.
Whatever. Just don't come too early.
Speaking of cum.
I hate you.
As you wrap your mouth around a nice fat burrito.
I got a mouthful.
Oh. Don't let the grease drip out. I mean, you got a gag reflex.
Jalapeno.
How about we talk about a little Christmas?
Oh, no, I'm not ready yet. I'm so not ready yet.
Are you not ready?
Talk about something else.
No,
I'll do it after the break.
That's so weird. Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't like doing that.
I can't do it now.
Let me just ask you a question. Do you actually have something written up for your Wiggle Rant?
Kinda.
Kinda?
Kinda.
Is it enough to blog?
Yes, totally.
Guess what your first blog of the century is going to be? Now, this is part like your...
So I'm not going to do a Christmas rant?
No, you are.
I can't because this is my Christmas rant.
Okay, but it'll go in a blog format, too, just so we can provide content to the lovely
I'm not
listeners.
doing double work.
Just email it to me.
I'm not. It's handwritten.
Okay.
I can't email my handwriting.
I will scan it, or I will take the copy of it.
It's got all like wiggle notes on it. You wouldn't understand it. It's
just...
like short wiggle hand.
All right.
You're not winning this one.
I know. So how was your week? let's ease into it that way.
This is like me in life. You're not going to win it, right?
Outside of you stuffing your face with 10 minutes to go before a show.
Oh, God.
Why don't you pour some of that Craig Nog over there?
Why don't you tell the
listeners about it?
Craig Nog.
Wait, you think I should be drinking this shit after eating 3 burritos?
Yeah.
You're fucking mine.
It's like soup in your stomach. Soup for your soul.
No, it's like eggnog and burritos. They don't mix very well.
You ate eggs as part of the omelet as part of the burrito. So you're just mixing egg with a little bit of booze.
Oh, yeah, all right, that's cool.
And that is how you convince Mr. Craig Wiggle to drink. Period.
No, eggnog.
Oh, eggnog. Craig Nog. This is different, I believe. I don't
Well,
necessarily...
yeah, I made it from scratch.
I don't believe I've ever tasted eggnog that is quite like this Craig Nog. I know that's not
Alcoholic?
Perhaps. I mean, I've tasted my family's, 95% proof, Polish liquor, plus like yogurt.
It'll put hair on your chest or take it off. One or the other.
No, it'll put hair.
Drink at your own risk.
It'll put hair on the hair on your chest.
Put hair on your fingernails from what you're telling me.
Or perhaps your palm.
No,
Dependent on whether you masturbate or not. You poured that a lot and only a little bit came out. That thing is thick. Pour me one too, bitch.
It's the second one, you jackass.
Oh, we got enough left for the rest of the show.
Left.
For the rest of the show. It's good. Queen Elizabeth joins us in our CWE radio chat room saying hairy chests are good. Thank you, sir.
Not on women.
No, boobs.
What the hell is that all about?
Boobs are beautiful on women, especially ginger.
Hey,
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, fuck yourself.
Wow, that's some good shit.
It better be. I made it. And I don't fuck around when I make stuff in my kitchen. Because usually it's alcohol.
Oh, man. Queen Elizabeth wants to know if you just called her sir.
No, I didn't call her sir. I'm just saying that she's wrong, that hairy chests are awesome. I think that they're quite scary, especially, when there's boobage and nipples attached.
Boobage and nipples.
Wow. It's like, hey, listen, if I got to bust out the razor or a weed whacker, I'm just going to leave and I'm just going to go elsewhere. By the way, good luck joining the circus.
Wow, really?
Listen. All right. I'm sure we've all heard of the bearded lady, okay?
Yeah.
Which is the one of the proverbial acts at the circus.
Okay.
All right. What if the circus also owned a strip club, okay? And it wasn't just the bearded lady, it was the chest-haired lady.
How about the bearded
Right.
clam lady?
All right? Like, when she rubs her scent in your face, you don't want to be pulling hairs out of your teeth. That's just not the way I want to spend my evening. not the way I want to spend any part of my day.
Breaking news.
Yep, my butthole.
No, well,
It's going to be breaking news in a little while. Jalapenos.
Apparently, our Queen Elizabeth had a motherhood milestone, as she is mentioning here in the chat room. We'll read it not line by line as it comes in, but essentially it involves her beautiful young daughter and her nightstand.
Who had the nightstand?
We'll find out as she says it. So, there'll be breaking news.
Must be one fine nightstand. I'm sorry. You look like you had a lot of trouble there.
Yeah, I did.
Wow. I don't know if I stumped you or...
No, I'm trying to separate the ideas in my head.
I'm giving up on this burrito. There's like a third of my third left, and I'm just...
You giving up on the...
I'm throwing in the... Not the towel, I'm throwing in the burrito.
You're giving up on the phallic food.
Oh, good God. I way overate. Yeah, you know what? You know how everybody has, like... I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people have, like, a cheat day for a diet? No, I'm serious.
Yes.
No, I'm dead serious.
Yes.
It's like a real thing. Like, Thursdays are like my cheat day. Okay, like, during the week, I eat fairly responsibly. Okay, I don't totally overdo it. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't do anything crazy. On Thursdays, it's becoming like my cheat day, where it's like, you know, I'm going to get 3 burgers. You know what? Fuck it. It's Thursday. I'm getting 5 burgers because I want to see if my stomach can handle it.
And you're like a puny what, like 112?
No, I'm like 160. Well, actually, after this meal, 165 probably. My weight has fluctuated over the last couple of years between like 150 and 175. 150 is like that was a couple of years ago, but it's been like 160 to 175. Last year during the football season, I really kind of packed on about 15 pounds because every Sunday I couldn't watch football.
Fatty.
Unless I was chowing down.
Piggy.
Fine. It didn't matter what it was. You know, I mean, oftentimes it was, you know, like nachos and salsas and like French onion dips and like it just didn't matter.
Oink oink.
Whatever. I got up to 175, which most people are saying 175. Fuck you, I hate you. But for me, that was kind of a lot. So, and I behaved and I did well and I dropped the weight that I had, and I'd probably just gained it back right now. But 6 days a week, I do pretty well.
I'm happy for you.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
I know you're not. So how's your nightstand?
It's not my nightstand. Well, apparently her daughter decided to open up the nightstand with eyes afraid of the size of Texas and California and everything else.
I see London, I see France, I see a dildo in Mommy's nightstand. I'm sorry, was that too much?
Not for our audience, but I don't know if the India Authority could take any more of this.
Mommy, what's this deal with this back massager? It looks like one of those giant pencils. Oh, thank you.
I don't understand.
You're turning red again.
I know.
What do you mean you don't understand? Don't some of them look like one of those, you know, like when you go on you used to go on vacation as a kid and your parents would buy you one of those giant pencils?
With the big eraser at the end?
Well, yeah, it's just instead of an eraser, it's an on-off switch. I'm sorry, an on-off and pulsate. Like a toothbrush, only, you know, for a vagina. Without brushes. I mean, maybe there are brushes on it. I don't know. I don't know what women are into when they're using a tool.
I see London, I see France.
I think we got a show title.
Oh, no, I think we got other stuff. So, how was your week since our last live show?
I don't remember. I haven't really been paying a lot of attention. I'm just waiting for the work week to end because I got the work Christmas party tomorrow. And
you too?
Yeah,
man.
And it's during the work day, so I can't like skip out on it. I know people who... Oh, God. I know people who are having like work Christmas parties outside of normal business hours, and I don't know. I'd probably go because like I kind of...
See,
I'm looking to get like I'm looking to kiss the right ass, so I move ahead in the company. So for a Christmas party, like if it were after hours, I probably would go.
See, now, for where I work, there are 3 different offices. So each individual office, excuse me, essentially had a Christmas party for that office. This is more for a Christmas party for everyone. So all 3 offices were invited to attend.
At one of the work locations?
Yes, the bigger work location.
And they're what, going to spend all day there?
It starts at noon, so I think they're kind of saying, work a half a day and drive on down and we're up, whatever. And
Yeah. No, if it starts at noon, it's, go to work, hang out till 11, come on over at noon, and leave at 2:30. Yeah.
No, it's an all afternoon kind of thing. They're not.
It's not going to be all afternoon.
No, they planned it for all afternoon.
What the hell are you going to do for 4 hours?
They're going to
5 hours?
They're playing. One of the things I read that they were playing the White Elephant game, or that's what they call it, the White Elephant.
I've never heard of a White Elephant game. I've heard of the White Elephant. That's usually like the thing that no one talks about. That's in the middle of the room, isn't it? Is it White Elephant or Pink Elephant? I can't remember.
I don't remember. Giant elephant in the room. I don't remember a color associated with it.
No, well, like I thought one of them referred to like the topic that everybody knows about but nobody wants to talk about.
No, the White Elephant is essentially you are designated a specific dollar amount. So you bring a gift, you wrap it, you put it on the table. Let's say there's 5 people. You pick a number for wherever you want to go in this thing. So if you pick number 1, you pick first. You pick up a gift, you open it up. Oh, look, it's a piece of shit in my hand. The next person goes, opens it up. Oh, look, it's a $25 gift certificate to Ass and Fuck's Dildo Shop. Third person goes and goes, oh, look, it's a rock. You know what the third person's going to do? I want the dildo card, and swaps it.
See, in my office, we do a very, very similar game where, everybody brings in a present. I think the limit's like $20. I spent $30 because I really didn't want to spend any time shopping. I didn't care.
Why didn't you just go to like that at a dollar store?
I'm not
That
look,
cheap?
I went to the liquor store and like they had like a little like gift, like a box of like wine, and the cheapest
wine?
Not like the box of wine. It was like it was a fancy box filled with 2 bottles of wine. It was $30. I'm like, you know what? Fine. So what we do is, yes, we all draw numbers. You start with number 1, and they grab any present under the tree. They open it up, and it's like, oh, look, it's fake dog shit. That's awesome. Okay. And then person number 2 will either say, okay, I either want the fake dog shit
or a gift,
or I want to choose under the tree. And
and which one of the females in your office spreads her legs for them to get said gift?
None.
Oh.
None. I don't work in an office like yours, but I'm wondering if they're hiring now.
I'll find out tomorrow if that's the way they are.
I mean, the person who really makes out the best is the person who has the last number, because they can choose from any present that's already been opened or the one mystery present that's still left.
Well, mine was a little bit different. I actually played this last year at my last job. It was a little bit different. It's like you actually got to pick a gift, and then when you opened it, you got to look at the X amount of gifts before you and see if you wanted to swap.
Yeah, yours is better than mine. But they're all stupid gifts.
There was 25 people in that company. I got 25. I got a stupid, mountain box of, chocolate kind of thing from some Asian dude. Okay?
You didn't get the bottle of...
That
was separate, or was that...
No, that was it. So I got this big box of candy, and I'm looking around, and I see this particular prize as it's being transferred the whole time.
Okay, chocolate candy for a diabetic, by the way. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So then it gets to me. I see that it's the last gift. It's a box of chocolate. I sure as shit don't fucking want it. I'll take a $5 gift card to anusrapers.com over fucking chocolate.
You'll take the fake dog shit.
I'll take anything but the stupid dumb Chinese chocolate.
Yeah, I got, or no, actually 2 people brought in and wrapped up the giant Whitman's box of chocolate. There was 200 pieces of chocolate in there. And there were 2 of those under the tree. And afterward, they said, all right, guys.
No more chocolate.
Don't buy the stupid things of chocolate next year. Put a little more effort into it.
So I have this chocolate in my hand. I'm looking around. I already know what I'm getting. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, the way you want to look at it, the owner of the company that I worked for, or COO, owner, whatever.
Yeah.
Had the prize in his hand. I looked directly into the man's eyes, and I said, I'm sorry for what I'm about to do, and please don't fire me. I will take your bottle of brandy for these chocolates. I had the fucking whole place on the floor laughing.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. How many ounces is that bottle of brandy that we still have a year later?
1.75 liters.
Almost 2 liters of smooth brandy.
It's freaking good. It's 1.75. Wow. Just by looking at it, that's scary. It is definitely good. I bought 2 bottles myself for at home.
See? I spread the wealth.
One of them?
Yes. Is gone?
No. Not the whole bottle, but some of it is in the eggnog.
There you go.
And it's actually very smooth in the eggnog.
Hopefully, what's between Miss Queen Elizabeth's legs for that vibrator is also smooth, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I ended up, what the hell? I forgot what I opened. I think it was like a bottle of wine, and it was just kind of like, I'm not really a big wine drinker. I'll drink it if it's just the group thing. You know, I'll have a glass. Like, I went out my boss took us out to lunch this week. And, like, you know, everybody else is like, oh, I'll have a glass of this. And I'm like, yeah, all right, fine. I'll get a glass of Pinot Grigio, whatever. I really didn't even want to finish it.
So we can jump on this.
I'll drink it.
We'll jump on some of these topics.
Well, somebody stole it from me, and I ended up opening up a bottle of
food coloring,
cocoa-flavored Patron. And I don't like tequila. So I think I had 1 drink of it since last year, and pretty much the whole thing is still sitting in my cupboard. But that's the good thing about mine compared to yours, is if someone steals my present, I get to open a new one. So at least that's kind of awesome.
Excuse me. So
my friend?
huh? Whoa, don't lean like that, my friend. Don't lean.
Nervous.
You're nervous?
I was nervous about the evacuation I just ordered.
So that kind of brings up the whole thing of like, what's the shittiest gift you ever gotten for Christmas? Whether it be at a work party, whether it be amongst friends, whether it be amongst the whores that you screw and kick out at the end of the night. Because I'm sure some of them like to lay and just get so attached to your humped leg that they just want to give you something and you just be like...
They already gave me what I wanted. Leave. You can give me money, but, you know, I already know it was probably worth being paid for, so it's not going to really win you anything new.
So what's the worst thing you've ever gotten? Was it that tequila?
You know, this kind of rolls into my Christmas rant a little.
Okay. You give a little preview. I mean, or you could lie and say something else.
No.
No, we'll do your Wiggle Rant the first thing right after commercial.
I know. I know. That was kind of what I was hoping for. I don't know if there is a worst gift I've ever received, because it's like one of those things where it's like you don't always remember the worst because you kind of always remember like the awesomest gifts you got. Okay. I mean, I also have an issue because my birthday is so close to Christmas that I don't remember. It's like, shit, did I get that for Christmas or my birthday? Like, I don't know.
Does it matter? It's with it. You and Grandma have a similar thing. My grandmother's is the 28th, so it's a day after yours.
All right, that's fine.
I remembered.
I will say,
actually put
I'm
it in
impressed.
my phone.
I'm very impressed. I know yours too, so
it's not that hard.
Neither is mine. So
yeah, obviously it was last week. Anyway, yes. So
yeah, I know. But I mean, and as a kid, any ugly piece of clothing, or let me broaden that. As a kid, anything that is not a toy
sucks.
is the worst present ever. You know, like you want to be like those kids on the news that like set their parents' house on fire because grandma gave you a sweater that you wouldn't want to wear if you were in a coffin.
Grandma got run over by reindeer.
You know, I do remember one year when I was a kid where after Christmas morning and, getting all the great presents from mom and dad. And I will say, even though I was not always a very good kid on Christmas Day, I was a raging asshole once in particular on Christmas morning where I just opened everything up and I'm like, okay, like you can return it all now. I don't want it. I did that on Christmas morning.
Wow.
I did that once. I was a total raging asshole.
Wow.
And I know that now. I'm not apologizing for it. I've already done that. But I should apologize for it again.
Mrs. Craig Wiggle, if you're listening to this.
No. No, it's fine.
Because I would like to apologize on behalf of your asshole son. Wow, really? Santa fucking spent all that time to get you your gifts, and you told your parents to fucking return it?
No, I was old enough to know that he's dead.
Is he white or not?
He's dead. Okay?
Santa's dead?
He's Martian. How about that? How about you fuck that all up?
He's green?
Okay? He's green.
Wow.
That's right.
Santa's green. You heard it here.
And you know what? Let me really stir the Kool-Aid a lot more, okay?
Yeah.
All right? You know what else he is?
Gay.
He's gay. All right? He takes it in the gay Martian hole. Not sure which one that is.
There's a plethora of holes.
I don't know. They got those funny the funny nostrils, but they don't have noses. There's just like the two nostrils sticking out in the middle of the face. One of those is the gay nostril. That's where he likes it. Yeah.
We have some feedback from Queen Elizabeth again. The worst gift she ever received was from her brother that bought her a leopard pitcher. A water that poured out of the leopard's mouth, and the handle was a tail.
A pitcher as in like that you've put liquid in, or a pitcher as in like a slang way of saying a picture?
No, pitcher, like you
pitcher,
pour,
like iced tea pitcher.
Yes, that you pour your eggnog out of.
A leopard pitcher.
Yes.
That is fucking awesome. Oh my god, I love it. All right, so anyway, I do recall one time I did get what was arguably the ugliest sweater I've ever seen in my entire life from my grandparents, to the point where, like, even my mom was just like, wow. And it was just like, oh yeah, I'm opening it up, and I open up the box, it's like, yeah. Like, she must have seen the look on my face. And I think this was, like, before I was a complete asshole on Christmas Day. Right? I think this was years earlier. And she went as far, like, afterward, where it's just like, she's looking at it, it's like, yeah, I don't think that's going to fit him, so we're just going to exchange it, okay?
Okay.
Like, and handled it in
like
just
an
incredibly smooth political fashion.
Nice.
And I didn't appreciate it back then. Because not because I was an asshole. It was before I was an asshole.
Okay.
I think because I was too young to really understand, like, all the angles that you could play out. And not like, yeah, this sweater looks like something I flushed yesterday. Instead, it's like, no, it looks like it won't fit. Let me go exchange it for something else. Like a champ. I don't remember what the sweater looked like, but it was pretty bad. It was one of those things I don't think I ever would have worn unless it was going to like an ugly shirt party, which we don't do anymore. That's really the only one I remember. I mean, there's always, every time you go to the store, there's stupid gifts,
Sure.
because they'll sell.
It is. And now it's just like a novelty kind of thing. 2 weekends ago we had the Clutch and Wiggle studio party with friends and everything else, and it was kind of themed. It was supposed to be a ugly sweater party. Some decided to wear one, others didn't. Yeah,
I thought it was going to be a nudity themed party, so I came dressed to impress, and I just turned out to be really cold.
So the worst gift that I've ever gotten was kind of piggybacks. I totally
better not be a vagina coloring book, because I'm going to tackle you.
No, to be honest with you, as a 30-something-year-old, that's probably one of the best ones that I've received. We'll get to that.
Do you need another? Do you need me to buy you another box of pink crayons?
Yes. Yes. Oh, fuck yes.
Whoa, slow down there, cowboy. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Gosh,
All right. I need a bigger air hockey table so I'm further away from you.
Now, the worst that actually ended up being like the stuff that my grandmother got me.
Isn't that always the case?
It is, because it's the complete lack of sense of taste that I would get a box filled with about 5 or 6 sweaters.
Oh my God, 5 or 6
every year.
Okay, here's the biggest question I'm going to ask you tonight. Were they store bought, or did she make them? Because a grandma thing, I could totally see where she made the sweaters. Because you can't return them then. You're screwed.
They were bought.
Okay.
I don't know when they were bought.
Oh, no. So they weren't even new? You don't think, or you know?
No, I don't think.
Wow. You got, like, hand-me-down sweaters?
No, it could have been something like where, like, I was like 5, right, and she went to the store and she got like 10 sweaters, and she figured out because she like thought all 10 were okay. Then
Like, I'm going to buy him sweaters till he's 35, so I'm going to buy every single size they have, so it's stocked up for a decade.
So, like, she boxed, like, she would figure out, all right, these look nice. Like, she'd probably like, mix and match or whatever and put them in. So, like, she could have bought it, like, a few years prior, and then I get it a few years later because that ends up being the best looking of everything.
Sweaters don't really change styles that much. No. So, I'm not so concerned that, I mean, I could see where she could get away with that. But sweaters in general, you got a good chance you're going to go wrong.
It is true. But yeah, that has to be like the worst thing of knowing that on Christmas Day, my parents and I, whether it was either at the house or here at the apartment or whatever, would have to come and have to open presents for my grandparents.
And it's going to look like a Bill Cosby garage sale.
Worse.
Not very possible, but okay. Possible.
Granted, if there were like sweatshirts or shirts that like family members got me, they're like, I don't know what to get him, but I don't want to ask because then maybe he'll know. So we're just going to get something that's sports related. So it says, baseball star on the shirt. And it's like you look at it and you go, thank you. And then you put it in a bag and whatever, you go home and you never wear the shirt again. But it's like the face-to-face thing at a holiday party is like, thank you, you got me a gift.
Yeah.
When I had to go over to see Grandma and Grandpa and they got me sweaters, because I get sweaters every year. My mother, as I got older, would buy me t-shirts, underwear, and socks, and put it in a big fucking bag.
As a joke?
Yes and no.
Okay, well, I don't understand why she would do that then.
Because it's my mom. My mom wanted to make sure
you had enough underpants without skid marks in them, and everything was cool, and there were no infections in your bum.
So,
I feel like I'm at the age now where if I open up a gift and it's socks and underwear,
I'll take it.
As a kid, I was just like, it's not underwear. Whereas now I'd be like, fuck
yeah!
Yeah! I don't have to do laundry for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pack, 6 fucking days. Oh yeah! And if I turn them inside out, I get almost 2 freaking weeks out of these things. Sweet!
See? You have that college mentality in your 30s. It's great.
I know, man. Like, I'd be perfectly fine with it now. Like, I tell people, listen, buy me underwear. Like, that's perfectly fine.
So is it safe to say that your worst ended up being whatever you got from your grandparents and your best being a pack of underwear in your 30s?
You know what's really creepy? Your worst gift ever was sweaters from Grandma. What was my worst gift that I could think of? A sweater from Grandma. So all you grandmas out there that listen to the Clutch and Wiggle experience, don't fucking buy sweaters for Christmas for anyone under 40.
No.
Ever.
No.
Right? Because we got a lot of grandmas that listen, right?
Oh, granny sex?
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Oh, you look like you're taking a picture of me.
No, not you. No, not you. Jackass.
I know. I'm not wearing a sweater. No.
It's all right.
And look, you know what? My ugly sweater, that was the ugliest one I could find, and the first person that looked at it was like, "That's the worst you can do?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's the worst I can do." I'm like, I'm not going to go out and buy a sweater that's atrocious that I'm never going to wear again. I spent enough time doing that years ago.
That's right.
With the ugly shirt parties, which weren't ugly shirt parties. We just decided we were going to make them ugly shirt parties for ourselves.
Going in style.
What the hell was wrong with us?
Everything that's right. So as the 8 o'clock hour comes ahead full speed, are you ready to take break?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
So there you go. The first hour of the Clutch and Wiggle experience back in the books here of our holiday-ish, our holiday special, our Grinchmas episode, as you'll soon hear after the break. We'd like to thank those who are listening on the Indie Authority. It's the theindieauthority.com. Thank you for that. And thank you also for folks who listen to us on the Clutch and Wiggle Entertainment Radio Network, cweradio.com/live. So on the other side of the break, there's a lot of you've heard of the Grinch. Well, we have our own Wiggle Grinch. You'll hear his thoughts on Christmas. You'll hear some thoughts on other things, some funny stuff, and we'll wish you a merry, happy, and drink some more eggnog. So if you're ready, I'm definitely ready, my friend.
Dude, I make the Grinch look like he should be on Sesame Street.
Hey, this is Steve from Broadcasting Under the Influence. You're listening to The Clutch and Wiggle Experience. Doesn't the name say it all? I mean, it's not just a show. It's a goddamn experience. Right here on CWERadio.com.
Hello, I'm Rita Ramnani. Adam has kindly asked me to record some kind of promo for the Oddcast Podcast UK. Apparently, I'm supposed to try and big the show up and make it sound all exciting and amazing. But if I'm truthfully honest, I never listen to the show. Because frankly, I have a life. And sitting around listening to three guys natter on about nothing isn't my idea of a good time. In fact, if I wanted to sit down and listen to inebriated idiots waffle on about how great Batman is, or whether a samurai sword is actually a katana, then I'd rather go down the local park and listen to tramps. At least that way I might see a fight or something. I mean, does Adam actually think people care about what he has to say? Do we care about his segments Star Watch, where they discuss about actors and actresses? We all have IMDb, Adam, so why are you bothering? Also, having a segment called Go Back and Watch This doesn't make you some kind of critic. If I want to go back and watch a film, it won't be because you told me. So, the Oddcast Podcast UK, the podcast nobody is listening to. And I'm not surprised, really. Nobody wants to hear three Brits mumble their way through a podcast. So don't go to oddpoduk.wordpress.com. And don't bother following on Twitter at Barker Podcasts and at Oddcast Podcast. It'll only depress you. Adam, stop podcasting. The Podgods Network would be a better place without you. Nobody's had the heart to say it, but it's true. Sorry, hon, but it's for your own good. I'm saying this as a friend. Okay, end of promo. Thank you.
Do you having zip problems? Some type of ailment? Stinky twat? Two dicks? Can't get that man or woman to sleep with you? Need to know how to get that pesky Zyklon B out of your uniform? Call the doctors. Clutch and Wiggle at 201-467 201-467-5413. Let them know what you'd like them to talk about and they will give you their advice. Dr. Ruth and the Abby have nothing on the doctors. Clutch and Wiggle.
Parents, are you having a hard time finding a reliable yet cost-effective place to take your children while you take care of your day-to-day errands? Come to Crooked Hanger Daycare Center, where we take pride in taking care of your little shit machines. You'll be able to go to the salon to check up on your new weave or extensions, take in a movie, go to lunch with your baby daddy, or just light up a spliff and chill. Crooked Hanger Daycare Center is open 24 hours a day, so you can pick up those little bastards after your shift ends at the Titty Bar. We are conveniently located right next to Clutch's Crab Shack in the downtown area. We accept cash, major credit cards, money orders, WIC, and food stamps. Availability is limited, so hurry today to ensure care for your little mistake.
Do you feel that your internet radio station has been lying to you?
Do you feel like you've been touched by your local internet radio station? Sexually? Possibly inappropriately?
Do you feel that the site that is streaming your favorite internet radio programs is being run by a redheaded stepchild who can't conference in 2 Skype calls at one time?
If you've answered yes to any of these questions, you should call the law offices of Rinkelstein, Beach, and Kvant at 900-555-2868.
That's 900-555-CUNT.
Or visit our orifice located across from the Crooked Hanger Daycare Center and next to the local NAMBLA office
If something smells fishy in your life, we here at Wrinklestein, Beach, and Gvunt want to dig our noses into it.
Here's what you missed on a recent Clutch and Wiggle experience.
The chode waffle is a short, fat female creature having body of an overweight dwarf and the vagina of a blue waffle victim. This saying can be reversed to the rankest of small fat chicks, but also works either way. Pretty much if you're called a chode waffle, you are undisputably putrid and a blot to female society.
Oh my.
Hello? Was that, what the hell was his name? George Takei?
Oh my.
That had to be George Takei. Let's see, there is Chode Yodeler. Oh wow, a lot of them have dashes in them now. Chode Goblin. Chode Floss. Chode Pro, was that me or you? I think that was you. Let's see, Chode Goblin, that's where I left off. Chode Mamba.
The Mamba, now they're bringing in dancing. All right.
Let's see, Chode Smoker, and it pretty much, Chode-tastic, Chode Wagon, Chode Boner, and it kind of starts continuing now. Oh, Chodosaurus! Imagine Jurassic Park if they had a Chodosaurus. Whoa! That's about what I couldn't have said it any better myself. You are just a sound-making machine. That's pretty much all I have to offer regarding the Chode tonight.
Folks, if you're interested in learning more unique words from the Clutch and Wiggle experience, come check us out live each Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern over on CWEradio.com. You can also contribute by shooting us any questions through ask.fm/ClutchWiggleEXP. You'll certainly be happy you did.
Are you tired of everyday radio?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it suck there's only AM and FM?
Yeah, and, well, I mean, there's Sirius and XM. Yeah, CDs and iTunes. Tic Tacs. Yeah,
well, that's besides the point, because we bring it straight to you now via the internet.
Ooh, really? Do tell.
Well, it's very simple. All you got to do is go to CWEradio.com, and you can listen 24 hours a day.
That's cool, but wait.
Yeah, I don't, not near my computer 24 hours a day.
Then I guess you're just shit out of luck, aren't you?
Damn it.
Wait! You're
What?
not.
Really?
Because you can download onto your smartphones the TuneIn Radio app. Just search Clutch and Wiggle.
Well, what if I don't have a smartphone?
Then you're fucked!
All right.
But for the rest of you, swing on by CWEradio.com and check out all the great shows like A Little Punch Drunk.
Ooh, I like them.
Yeah, they're cool.
And, well, I can't really think of any others, but you can listen to A Little Punch Drunk.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm good with that.
So just swing on by CWEradio.com. Enjoy.
With the recent emerging pandemic hitting our nation, we here at the Clutch and Wiggle Experience are concerned about your health.
To ensure this crisis does not reach global proportions, we'd like to ask our neighbors in Mexico to please refrain from having sexual relations with your pigs. Don't be a fool. Stay away from pig stool. Together, we can stop the spread of the hog HIV.
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here, and today I'd like to talk to you about the hog HIV. Being married to Miss Piggy is about as bad as it sounds, but instead of suicide, I practice safe porking. So as a fellow banger of the bacon, I highly encourage you to cover your one-eyed cucumber before screwing your squealer. Or just stick it in her rump roast. Yay!
Hello, this is Stephen fucking Hawkins, and you're listening to the best show on internet radio, the Clutch and Wiggle Experience. Remember, fuckers, it's not just a show, it's a goddamn experience.
Yes, indeed. The Clutch and Wiggle Experience live here on CWEradio.com and the Indie Authority. You know, CWEradio.com or theindyauthority.com. Check us out on Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern. You can also download our preview shows through iTunes, Stitcher, Podomatic, Spreaker, a whole bunch of other places. So you can just simply do an internet search for the Clutch and Wiggle Experience. You will find us somewhere, somehow, and just let us know on Facebook and Twitter. Or you can just simply go to clutchwiggleexp.com, find out who we are, what we do, where we've been, and everything else. And you can kind of let us know what you think of the show, and let everyone else know, too. Spread the word, please. We want more listeners and downloads. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it, dang it. So as we were talking about in the first little segment there before a lovely commercial break with 50 Cent Candy Shop, it's the closest thing to Christmas music that Mr. Craig Wiggle has in his musical collection, since it has candy in there. It's a multi-purpose song. You can use it either during Halloween or Christmas.
Well, listen, I could have played that or I could have played porn, okay?
I would have listened to porn.
I can't listen to porn?
Then because you don't have a good imagination.
Listening to porn is like turning on your radio and hitting mute. It just doesn't work for you.
You just don't have a good imagination. That's all it is.
When I'm watching porn, I don't want to use imagination. I want to use something else.
You want to pull butt? Is that what you're trying to assimilate?
Or I want it done for me, and then she can leave.
What has become of you in these past few years? I don't know. You have just become a Scrooge of massive proportions when it comes to certain topics, like Christmas. As we definitely pour our next glass of Craignog, as we finish off the bottle. A little dripped out for our homie.
It's dripping at the tip.
Oh, is that really how you are during Christmas?
I'm sorry?
Is that how you are during Christmas?
What, a little drippy at the tip?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Because you're so happy it's Christmas, right? So happy and elated that it's Christmas time.
I could see that you're trying really, really hard to get this topic going right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really working.
No?
No.
So why don't you just bust the door down and
I'm just going to go right into it.
Yeah, just fucking hit it with a sledgehammer. Go.
Is it just me? Or did Christmas start earlier than ever this year? It started in like the middle of October. No, you need to keep your microphone on for this.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Every freaking year, it starts earlier and earlier and earlier. I'm walking into stores, it was like, I know for a fact it was like October 15th, and I see a row of Christmas trees. Nobody was with me. I'm walking in the store, and I see them all. I stop, short, and I'm like, really? I probably frightened some children, which is fine because...
You really audibly just said really?
I'm like, exactly.
Wow.
Like, really? It's the middle of October, and you have displays ready and raring to go. I don't know who is buying fake Christmas trees October 15th, but you had them ready to go. Box them up, put them on your roof, stick them in your car.
I do agree that Christmas started way too early and starts way too early in general.
Every year, it's worse and worse. It's like an infection. If you don't kill it, it's just gonna spread. Yes, I just referred to Christmas as a dirty, stinking infection. Okay, can you tell I'm on a roll now? Okay,
keep going, my friend.
I'm working on it. I don't know if I can sustain it, but I'm gonna see what I can do. So, yeah, I mean, and that's what, like, they're already done. They're talking about Black Friday sales. It's like, oh, every Friday in the month of October is Black Friday. And I'm like, no, it's not. You're making this up. It was just one day. And maybe it's me, but the whole Cyber Monday horseshit, which is another completely made-up day, seemed like a huge non-event to me. Maybe there were big things going on. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I didn't really notice any difference. I'm hearing sales are actually down for Christmas. Probably because you jammed it down our throats so frickin' early to try to maximize your profit erections.
Profit erections, okay.
Give me a second, I gotta write that down.
That's fine. Profit, wow.
Erections. Okay,
yeah. Uh-huh.
So it seems to me that the profits were down. I'm finding more and more people are coming to the dark side, my side, in that they're really just getting tired of it. I'm watching TV. It's like October 4th. And I'm watching football. And it's, it's Santa Claus comes on TV. And again, I'm just like, it's barely past Halloween. Thanksgiving's not till like the 28th of this month. And you have Santa Claus's fat, disgusting, obese, unshaven face right on my 42-inch screen. Now I feel like it needs to be washed because it's dirty, it's tainted, and it's well now it's Lexus's, because they do this every year, Lexus's December to Remember event, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's fucking October, and it's barely October, and you're doing a friggin' December promotion for selling cars? Do you know anybody that has bought someone a car for Christmas to begin with? Have you ever heard of that?
No, sir, I have not.
Do you think the large part of the population buys each other cars for Christmas? Never mind luxury cars.
No, sir, I don't.
All right. After that tainting of my eyes, another commercial comes up. Oh, look, it's the fat red piece of shit again. This time he's got a list in front of him and he's peddling fucking Mercedes. Oh my God, I should run out and buy everyone on my list a Mercedes for Christmas because, well, Santa's giving them away. Who thinks this happens? How does this even help sell cars? I don't think it does. You have a good promotion to sell a car? Tell me about it. Don't put some fake, fat-ass red fantasy in front of me and tell me, well, he would get it for you, so maybe you should just go and do it yourself. It doesn't happen. Oh, look at that. Home Depot's on. Santa Claus is dropping off, floor tiles and ladders and all other stupid shit that you could just go buy yourself. That's one thing I never got when I was a kid, and I believed in the whole phantasm. Okay? All right, Santa Claus goes out and he has elves and he builds all these presents and he leaves them for me. Well, how does he make all this stuff when it's in the stores? I thought Santa was breaking into stores on Christmas Eve and stealing their shit off the shelves. That's the only thing that made sense. I really did not, put two and two together that that's actually theft and illegal. Like, I thought it was cool because it was him. You're a kid. You believe pretty much anything that kind of makes sense, in kid logic.
True.
I should have known long ahead of time that it was all a big scam. Everything has to do with, well, Santa's giving this stuff to you, so you should go out and buy it. But wait, there's more! If I'm not, shut up. If I'm not in front of my TV, maybe I'm in the car. Okay, Craig Wiggle driving all around, doing errands and cool wiggle shit. That's fucking awesome. And then all of a sudden, the music or the people talking on the radio, they're not there anymore. Now it's time for commercials. Okay, commercials. All right, well, are they peddling soda or political activism or something else I don't care about?
Are they peddling 1877 Cars for Kids? That's
oh my God!
877 KARS Cars for Kids.
I want to set a school bus on fire every time I hear that damn commercial. I go into a rage, and I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone on that, Rob. Right?
I love Cars for Kids.
And you're a shitty liar.
It's fine. I sing it all the time. Please continue with your synopsis of Christmas.
So anyway, okay, great. Hey, commercial. And after changing the station 3 or 4 times, God damn it, they're all doing commercials. It's like some horrific collusion on their part to make me listen to commercials. I know it's not, but okay. Oh, hey, it's a commercial for some, stupid box stores, Christmas sale. Oh, look at that. It's August. And oh, look at that. Listen to that. They're playing Christmas music in the background. Yay! It's everywhere. So now, Christmas music, which is otherwise not completely horrible music on the surface, is now being stolen and sodomized and made into cheap advertising jingle music. Kmart has guys in boxers shaking their ball sacks as bells for jingling so you can buy shit at Kmart. Because let me tell you, if you're shopping in Kmart, the best thing you're going to find is shit, and it's because somebody didn't flush it in the bathroom. So this is what's become of Christmas carols that are hundreds of years old, or maybe over 100 years old. You'd think when they made these songs 100 years ago, they expected these gigantic corporations to just steal them and make them into advertising jingles, which mean nothing. Except when you hear them, it's like, oh, it's like Pavlov, like, oh, listen to Christmas music. Wow, I really need to go to the Bloomingdale's now. It's terrible. It's an abuse of Christmas music, which is abused in other ways, too, like the radio stations that from Labor Day say, oh, we're going to play nothing but Christmas music until the middle of January. I jumped in my boss's car. Shut up, I'm still talking here. I jumped in my boss's car because he took us out to like a work lunch as like a Christmas lunch. We get in his car and it's oh, hey, let's throw on the Christmas music for the drive. And I'm like, oh my God, I just want to shoot somebody. It was 5 minutes until we got to the restaurant, so it was fine. I grinned and I bared it. Bored it. I don't know what you call it. Christmas music is just abused like every other part of Christmas. Like the tree! What the fuck does a tree have to do with Christmas? Let's cut down a tree that is perfectly alive and well, kill it, and decorate it with lights. And then just throw it away 3 weeks from now. What a brilliant way to spend our time. Me? I will never a day in my life have a real Christmas tree. You may speak now. Do you know why, Rob?
Why?
Shut up. No, because I'm allergic to Christmas trees. See? God said, you know what? Craig's going to say fuck Christmas with a dirty nightstand surprise. So I'm going to make him allergic to Christmas trees. See, I do believe in God. And you know, there would be no Christmas without Christ. Which brings me to my next point. My notes. You know, I had an idea. It's a random idea. I was going to blog it. Yeah, and this can be a conversation. This doesn't have to be a monologue. Because I kind of want your take on this.
You need to put this in a blog, I'm just saying. But
Christmas is a horrible, horrible holiday. And as I tweeted earlier this week, twice, by the way, if I'm sure you saw, I think it was twice in 1 week. You know, I said, I was daydreaming. I was looking at a calendar, and I see Christmas Day on the 25th, and Canada has Boxing Day on the 26th. I said, maybe I didn't tweet this full thought. Canada has Boxing Day. Boxing Day to me tells me, like, oh, people go around just punching people all day long. It's like, why does Canada have to have the awesome holiday? Like, why don't we take Christmas Day and make it more like Boxing Day? I can just go around punching people. That's a holiday I can look forward to. And then I found it. Online. There is a holiday. It exists. It's Takanahui. I forget the name of it. It had a really, really funny name. It takes place on December 25th. Which is a great day for it to be like this. It is a day where you could say all bets are off. I'll explain it to you. Every December 25th, a town in Peru celebrates Takanakui. Don't ask me to spell it. Look it up. Men, women, and children settle grudges with fist fights. Then everyone goes drinking together, ready to start the new year with a clean slate. So on Christmas Day, everybody rolls up their sleeves, kicks the shit out of everybody they don't like. Okay? You settle a grudge. A grudge could be anything. It could be you wronged me. In Peru, it could be you stole my goat. You had sex with my cattle. You milked my wife. You know, or you looked at me the wrong way. You know what?
I like
so
the milking the wife thing.
So we're gonna settle this with fisticuffs. That's what we're gonna do because we're the awesomest town in Peru and possibly the world. So let's kick the shit out of each other. And then after we're done, we're cool. Let's go have a beer together. You know, it's okay that you felt up my chickens. Because I beat the hell out of you, and I'm okay with it now. And we can, you know, like we can bond over this. Okay? Maybe not the way you and the chickens did, but maybe just over a beer and some healthy conversation that's not illegal. Okay? These people have it right. I like it. I like what they do. They should be an example for the rest of the world. But they're not. But we can start it. We can start that new... A tradition only becomes a tradition if somebody starts with it, sticks with it, and shares it with other people who also can enjoy it.
Who's this we?
Well, it was you and me, but you're apparently not on board with Takanahui. Takanakui. I gotta figure out how to pronounce it.
I gotta let this run maybe a couple years in a row and collect some data.
I've been hearing you've been having the runs for a long time. That's why I thought you'd be on board.
Okay, so go on with your Takahoe.
Takanakui.
Sure, your
Takanakui is going to be the new craze, all right? But with any big holiday, you know, like Christmas has Santa, Easter has the Easter Bunny, you know, Independence Day has fireworks. Like everybody needs a symbol, a mascot, okay? Something to stand behind, something that resembles the true meaning of the holiday. And Takanakui already has theirs, you know, like it's fist fighting. And to me that can be a symbol. But it got me thinking even more. All right? And maybe if you're not on board with Takanakui, I'm going to come up with my own holiday. So I brainstormed. I brainstormed a lot. So much that I wrote a page and a half of notes, which I can put in electronic format at a later date, maybe by next Christmas. And I started simple. You know what? There's already... You know how there is Christ?
Yes.
And there's also the Antichrist. And the Antichrist resembles the opposite.
The devil, yes.
Right. Like, there's one that resembles all that's well and good, and there's one that resembles everything but that. Well, let's apply that to Christmas, who, by the way, also has Christ in it. Very interesting. So instead of Christmas, I'm going to start the Wiggle inaugural Anti-Christmas. And we're going to make this the national phenomenon.
I have to ask you to come up with a better title because that just sucks.
Listen, that's why I said it's a work in progress. It's brainstorming. In a brainstorming session, you come up with 500 ideas. If 5 are good, it's a productive meeting, okay? I did this while I was at work. Anyway, so I couldn't spend a lot of time on it. That's why I only got a page and a half in, and then I lost interest. So we have the Anti-Christmas. Well, what is it? How does it work? What's its symbol?
Are you doing a sales pitch on the Anti-Christmas?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you know how there's a lot of different ways I'm going to expand upon this. I don't have my thoughts in order.
Do you have a PowerPoint for this?
No. I don't have a PowerPoint, PowerPlay.
Do you have any slides we could put on a projector?
No, not yet. You know what? But look, like every holiday, it's got, you know, there has to be some kind of organization. You have to have a mascot. You have to have rules for it. You know, like there's rules for Christmas. You give people presents. They give you presents. There's a day you have to do it on. Though you don't, you know, people kind of, you know, they use it within reason. You know, if you have a Christmas party a week before or a week late, like it's cool because it's like, listen, Christmas Day is reserved. So like, let's do it then. But it works. It's not like, you know, like Independence Day where it's like, you know what? We're going to do fireworks in like the middle of September. You know, you have towns where it's like, look, you know, New York has like their display on July 4th, so we're going to do ours on the 2nd. Because we know that, you know, we don't want to spread you too thin and we want to maximize our return on this stuff. You know. But Christmas, you know, Christmas has their mascot. He's fat. He's red. He's a thief, apparently, because I said he steals stuff from Toys R Us and Amazon and all those places to give kids presents. Oh, by the way, he's also guilty of breaking and entering, because obviously he's coming into your house without a key. But note that Santa is a globally recognizable symbol for spending too much money and overindulgence of cookies.
Overindulgence of cookies, yes.
Overindulgence of cookies. But before I even get to the mascot,
I like sugar cookies, by the way.
You know what? I might have to put this part in written form because it's really disorganized. No, maybe I shouldn't. You know what? Anti-Christmas. Here's the other thing. The Anti-Christmas, it's going to be December 26th. It's not going to be Christmas Day. It's going to be a day late because it just shows the lack of effort involved with Anti-Christmas, where it's like, you know what? This is a shit holiday and we know it, so it's going to be a day late. Because even we're lazy enough, too lazy to celebrate it. You know what the goal of Christmas is? To give someone a present. Hopefully something they'll enjoy. You know what the goal of the Anti-Christmas is?
To punch the shit out of people?
Nope, that's Takanakui. The Anti-Christmas, it's like the ugly sweater party. You know it's an ugly sweater, but you're going to wear it anyway because that's the style. That's what you're supposed to do. For the Anti-Christmas, you have to go out and buy a gift. You still have to buy a gift for somebody, and they still have to buy something for you. You have to find the worst, the absolutely most detestable gift you can imagine. It can be inappropriate. It can be unusable. It's up to you and the other person what you decide, okay? It could be a vibrator that's shaped like a palm tree. All right, I don't know how that's going to work. You could... Jesus, what the hell?
Sorry.
Was that just us?
Yes, that was Christmas music.
All right, I don't care what it is. It could just be something just completely dopey and useless, like a laser-guided pizza cutter. It's out there.
Go on.
All right? I'm not sure what works between you and the other gift givers and gift takers. All right? No, that's not what you're supposed to do with this subtle butt. You're supposed to stick it on your underpants. Look, just because you farted in studio doesn't mean you have to waft it over here. All right?
Keep going with your Christmas rant.
So anyway, the Anti-Christmas.
You're 25 minutes in.
I don't care. All right? The Anti-Christmas, you have to find the worst gift for that person and give it to them. And they're in turn going to find the absolute worst gift for you. And I found some real shitters out there. All right? Like I said, the laser-guided pizza cutter. Nobody needs that. Ever. But it's out there if you want it. Okay? Some of the goofy things we've talked about on this show before, the really bad gifts, the anus-shaped chocolates. All right?
Right.
They're out there. What are you doing? All right? So it's possible, all right, to find really terrible gifts. What are you doing?
Keep
going.
I
want to know what you're doing.
Keep ranting.
Okay? But, just like Christmas, if this is going to stick around for longer than Kwanzaa, let's say, for example, because Kwanzaa doesn't stand a chance. Okay, nobody cares about it. Kwanzaa's not even funny anymore. Like, it was a good joke for a couple of years, but everybody knows it's just a total made-up farce. But for the Anti-Christmas, we need a guy. We need a symbol.
You're not going to be the symbol?
I'm not going to be the symbol. I'm not big enough. All right? All right? We need someone... And this is still the work in progress here, all right? The Anti-Christmas symbol, everybody knows Santa. The Anti-Christmas guy, we're going to call him Bob.
Okay, Bob.
You know what? Because he's relatable. Everybody, I don't care who you are, okay? We've all known a Bob in our lifetime. No offense, because I know you're Rob, but you're not a Bob.
Sure.
All right? Even in the movie Office Space, there was the running joke in the movie about the two Bobs. You remember that?
Right.
All right, so I'm not the first one to come up with this assumption here. All right? All right? Everybody's known a Bob. Most of us have probably known several Bobs. I can't believe I just pluralized Bob, but we'll say Bobs, okay? Not like bobbing up and down. All right? All right, so the odds are pretty good that you've known at least one. That's, if you've known several Bobs, you've probably known one that's been kind of a pain in the ass. All right?
Okay.
All right? It's like, oh, man, I got to deal with Bob again, So the fact that you've known a Bob before who's kind of a pain in the ass, and he's a symbol of an anti-holiday, the anti-Christmas, like, that kind of works. Where it's like, oh, who's the symbol of the holiday? Oh, it's fucking Bob. All right? But we need more of, like, a full name. All right? The fat man has claws. All right? His other, Chris Kringle. Don't ask me why. He's got an alias. I can't figure it out either. All right? So he doesn't get confused with the other Bobs. There I go pluralizing it again. All right? But just like the Fat Red Terror, Claus, Kringle, whatever the hell else he's got. He's got a couple other names, I think, too. He's like Carmen Sandiego. No, she's only got one name. Forget that. All right?
Did you just compare a fake Santa Claus to Carmen Sandiego?
Wait, are you... All right. Is one more real than the other?
Carmen Sandiego, yeah.
Carmen Sandiego is a lot more fun than Santa. You know how many hours I spent playing that game? Moving on.
Let's not fall off the
All right.
rails here.
All right. I couldn't think of any really good name. We can just call him like Bob the Burden. Just like Bob the Builder. All right? He's just Bob the Burden. Because burden is one of those words. Doesn't matter what context you put it in. That's not a word you ever want to use. You don't want anything to be a burden. It just means more work. All right? It's just more of a pain in the ass. It's just, So he's Bob the Burden. All right? So, I can't even read my own handwriting. His damn holiday? Oh, all right. Nobody looks forward to it. All right? And that's just what this holiday is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be something you don't look forward to, which is probably why it's never going to catch on. But I'm going to give it a try. All right? Oh, big, fat, red, painful burden. Yeah, look at that. All right, so Bob the Burden, he's our guy. He represents this anti-Christmas. Because, I don't know, Judas just seemed a little...
Too much?
I think it was a little over the top,
Right.
I don't want to, I don't know. Judas!
Yes.
No, not him. So what does he look like? Because we know what the fat ass looks like. He's got this big red monkey suit, or this big red pair of pajamas. So we got to figure out what Bob looks like. Well, I have no idea. No idea what he looks like. But let's see if we can figure it out. All right? It sounded like a whale call.
Right,
I don't know.
so
When I think about this guy, I'm thinking like maybe he wears a bandana. All right? I don't know. Because are you going to live? Let's say he wears a bandana. I don't know. People don't wear bandanas, you know who wears bandanas? People that want to be recognized, all right? People that you want to remember, all right? The only people that I know that wear bandanas are wrestlers, aging rock stars, and shady people. Okay? Just being preventative. Okay, so if he looks like an old wrestler, an aging rock star, or somebody who's shady, like on a street corner shady, like that's okay. That's kind of what we're going for. Go ahead.
You're creating this guy to look like a homeless person.
Kind of kind of homeless, but kind of like the shady guy in the corner, like wants to sell you watches. It's like, oh yeah, they're new Bolex watches. Like that's what he's like. Okay, so all right, so anyway, I think a bandana is a good start. But it's only going to get you so far. I mean, this guy's supposed to represent, a really shady holiday, but he's got to look the part, all right? I don't want him ended up look like Hulk Hogan, so he's not wearing spandex, all right? But he's definitely got the bandana, all right? But if he's going to be shady, he's got to be wearing an overcoat, or some kind of, trench coat, all right? A guy in a bandana and a trench coat, that there's bad shit going on there, right? Have you ever in your life seen a guy wearing a bandana and a trench coat where you go, wow, he looks like a totally cool, trustworthy guy?
I've never seen a guy in a bandana and trench coat.
Perfect. So he's identifiable already. Okay? All right. I don't want to make it seem morbid, but it's got to be black. All right. A black trench coat. And he's probably, he's selling hot shit. All right. And he doesn't have a North Pole. He doesn't have elves working for him. He's a complete freeloader. He ends up living on your couch. All right? So Bob the Burden, in his overcoat and bandana, he lives on your couch. He's a pain in the ass. Nobody likes him. All right? He's responsible for giving you the worst gifts you can imagine. And in closing, this is the end of my thought. All right? You know how Santa spreads the Christmas spirit? The holiday spirit, because that's, of course, more PC. You follow me here? Santa send, or people talk about the Christmas spirit, okay? Like it's contagious, right? Like it's some kind of disease, but it's like a disease you want, which I don't know what the hell that could ever be, but apparently the Christmas spirit is contagious, right? Bob, because he's a fucker, you know what he spreads?
His ass cheeks.
You get the fucking holiday HIV from Bob. The holiday HIV. I got nothing more.
Holiday HIV.
You get the holiday HIV.
What do you get for gifts?
The worst thing you can imagine.
You ending this?
I told you it wasn't a complete thought. I warned you.
It's been 45 minutes of drivel, my friend.
It was a lot of drivel because I really didn't have it well thought out.
You're angry. Does your place of work allow you to have psychiatric visits?
Wouldn't know. I don't think I need them, so I've never asked.
No, I think you need to rethink that. Your anger towards this holiday that is essentially made for Hallmark and children. The anger you have for this is
but it's so much more than that.
It is disgusting. It is downright scary.
But
it has scared me.
The purpose of the anti-Christmas is for you to give people gifts like the tortilla blanket. Okay? The drum pants that actually, yes, you play the drums on your pants and it makes drum sounds. It's actually like a...
Yes, but these are gifts that you would have given me for a gag gift for this show, much like the vagina coloring book and toilet coffee mug.
These are worse. I'm talking about much, much worse. A gag gift is funny. It's useless and it's funny. These gifts are just plain useless and sad. Why did someone even make this?
What happened to you either at a young age or in another lifetime that caused you to despise, because hate is like the word love right now. What caused you to despise this holiday in December that you get off every single year?
I've explained it before. I hate how it's crammed down. Christmas is no longer a day on the calendar. Christmas is a season. Seasons last a quarter of a year, okay? All right? You have your fall, winter, spring, summer. Those are seasons, okay?
Right.
Christmas is not a season. But it's being crammed down all our throats like it is. You're seeing trees that are put up in the middle of October. People are putting lights up on their house earlier. They're keeping them up until February, as we know. Some of them. Knew of some of them. Okay, it causes the mall to become impossible to go to for a leisurely evening of shopping. Okay, parking is insane. People are being trampled to death. Stores are opening on Thanksgiving Day. I like Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving is the only non-commercialized day where you can sit and spend a great day with your family. You can actually enjoy the people's company that you're related to, except when football's on. But apparently you can't do that anymore because every fucking store is open on Thanksgiving Day now. And why do they do that? Well, because some poor guy in New York got trampled to death by rioting shoppers who want to save $50 on a sewing machine or a television or something else that's just as stupid. They're willing to kill people to save a few bucks on some gifts.
So you use this is the first year that on Thanksgiving that they opened up Macy's to do shopping and stuff. So if people are trampled or killed or worse or whatever, so perhaps maybe next year they can use this as you know their research, and they may not do it. So there's an easy explanation for that.
They've opened Pandora's box.
Yeah, but
it's not going to stop.
Everything that you've said has a very simple explanation on how to avoid the anger boiling so much. I can agree with you calmly that hearing and seeing Christmas things in July, in October, is pointless.
Oh, speaking of which, there is also Christmas in July.
Which is fine, because it's a couple days you buy stuff and that's it. I've bought stuff there. I've bought
right.
stuff during the summer to get stuff for Christmas because it was Christmas like that. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Okay, because it's a one quick thing. Okay, being it shoved down throats. Of course, you can cut down on commercials, you can cut down on the stupidity of it and all that other kind of stuff. See, I see the nostalgic part in it. The other day on TV, I was watching it. You know, back in the 80s when they had the Hershey Kiss little things and they made the Kiss things look like those ringing bells?
Yeah.
Okay. They digitized it. They made it look like they just made it this year. But essentially, it's the same point.
But that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, yet you have a problem with somebody putting up a tree like the day of Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving. Or lights.
No,
or
if it's the day after Thanksgiving, that's fine. If you're invading all of October, like Christmas has become the kind of holiday where I feel like I have to dress up like fucking Santa Claus for Halloween. Because that's really either I have to dress like Santa Claus if I'm a guy or a whore if I'm a woman, because let's face it, all women's costumes are all whorish costumes now.
You might actually get better candy if you do Santa in October. Plus, you get to keep warm, too.
And I can wear the costume again in 2 more months.
That's fine.
But, look, Christmas has been for decades. I don't know why I made that 2 words. For decades, Christmas has started, the Christmas season started the day after Thanksgiving. That was the whole purpose of Black Friday, right? That's part of the theory behind the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Santa Claus is the last person, is on the last float. It kicks off the Christmas season. That's pushing it a little bit because it's still Thanksgiving Day, but you know what? All right, fine. And you were saying, all right, there's easy solutions. It may level off. It may not always be this way, but that's not the trend that has been occurring every year. It's been getting earlier and earlier and earlier and earlier, and it's really only started, I think, in like the last 20 years.
But what in your past has made you get to this point? Because this is borderline psychotic.
Well, I am borderline psychotic. So what's your point?
I don't understand how a holiday during a year gets you this much amped up, this cranked up, when all you need to do is take a step back and just either ignore it or shrug your shoulders and move on with your personal life. You are letting one holiday in a month, or an extended to a month, 2.5 months kind of thing, interfere in your life. Is your life so pathetically disappointing that you have to allow a Christmas tree or lights being put up earlier than expected to affect you in this particular sniping attitude? And just let it. You are worse than Scrooge and the Grinch put together.
Okay, to answer your question in 2 parts, yes. And the second part, it cannot be avoided. And let me give you an analogy real quick. All right, a new song comes out. Okay, when it comes out, you want to, it comes on the radio like once an hour, right? Okay. They play it a lot, correct?
Sure.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
After like a month or 2 months of hearing it every hour on the radio, or let me say after an extended period of time, you kind of get tired of hearing it that much, correct?
Then I would change the channel.
All right. That's fine. Okay? So you hear the song and it's like, ugh, like again? So you turn to a different radio station or you do something else, all right, and you maybe go back to it later, all right? With Christmas, it's not as simple. You say avoid it. It's not as simple as that because it is quite literally everywhere. It's like, oh, well, Christmas, I don't want Christmas. I hate listening to it on the radio, so I won't listen to the radio.
It's because you live in a rural area. We live in an area where there is a mall, literally every which direction you turn within a 5 to 10 minute radius. So it is always going to be thrown in your face. If there are different parts of the state, there's a north, a central, and a south. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
The more south you go, okay, there is less area for a mall or a strip mall or a huge whatever to influence this. You are in a massive area where this is all being thrown in your face at a moment's notice because of it's so close to each other.
Well,
Okay?
that's only part of it, though.
But the thing is, this gets worse every single year, and you are doing nothing to change your attitude about it. You do nothing to stop the anger from it. What I'm scared of is that you continue down this destructive internal path, and you're going to essentially die because you are letting a holiday and somebody's wanting to outdo their neighbor in lights a day and a half, month and a half earlier. You're letting it affect you in that manner where you could be going out and fucking pussy. As opposed
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
As opposed to worrying about a balloon of Santa or lights being put up on a house or a commercial where Santa's hawking a fucking $90,000 car that you can get quote unquote on sale.
Listen.
There's alternatives to this anger. It's called pussy. It's called fucking an electrical socket. It's called doing something else than having to worry yourself about something you can never control.
No, I don't worry about it. I just hate it.
Okay.
There's a big difference.
No, you worry about it enough where it consumes you. You become worse than the Grinch. The Grinch looks at you and goes, "That nigga ate shit compared to me."
Like, dude, you crazy.
You are worse than crazy.
I am.
You let things that you will never change, you can never change, you will never have an idea to change it outside of putting a 45 in your mouth and pulling your toe.
If I'm going to die,
yes,
I'm taking Christmas with me.
It's not going to happen. It will never happen. Santa is bigger than you.
Well, yeah, it's from all the cookies.
That's then start eating cookies.
You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bulk up so I can beat up Christmas.
So you can
beat up Christmas. Listen, to me, the only way...
With red boxing gloves, right?
The only way I can beat this holiday is with a bigger holiday. And Takanakui anti-Christmas, that's going to fuck Christmas up. That's all I got to say. 4 minutes.
You're right?
Yeah. I'm good now.
You sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
A fucking 45-minute rant on a holiday.
I still hate it.
How the fuck are you going to put 45 minutes of audible rant into like a paragraph or 2 or 17?
I don't know. I'm a shitty writer, too.
Apparently. So, folks, if you're new to the Clutch and Wiggle experience, this is the part where we kind of go through what we've learned throughout the past 2 hours of audio eargasmness.
I didn't write much down at all, so I don't have much
No, you did. You wrote quite a bit, having nothing to do with 2/3 of the show. It's the other 1/3 to you.
Go ahead.
You are fucking out of your mind. Crazy.
I just hate Christmas, all right? And you can't just avoid it because I'm in the confines of my own home. It's on the radio. It's on TV. It's on the internet.
I thought your rant was over.
It's everywhere.
I thought your rant was over.
No. Never.
Well, we learned that Phil Robertson has a dirty potty mouth, and apparently it'll get him fired probably.
And he's got a new fan in me.
Funny,
I'm
I never
not gay, so it's cool.
I never thought of you as being a Bible thumping Christian.
I'm not.
apparently we learned that you absolutely love Christmas to the bottom of your little Grinch heart.
Yeah, another year, and I love Christmas just as much. We also learned about profit erections.
Profit erections. That's a little scary. Profit erections.
Better than me, profit flaccid.
Watch it there. I'm diabetic. Those terms hurt me, emotionally and physically.
I'm sorry. Profitably unable to perform. Is that better?
Yes, I'm an unable to perform American.
Doesn't that make you a Canadian?
No.
Oh.
Come on, they have Boxing Day. That's your favorite second holiday, isn't it?
I still love fucking Takanakui.
Takanakui. There's a word for you.
I gotta go look up more of that shit.
Wait, give it a minute. It's gonna... Passed again.
I gotta look that up again. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Except on Christmas Day when it gives the shit out of you.
Wow. You're angry. I'm glad Ditzy wasn't here today. She'd be totally offended at you.
I'm a little upset. Like, I was kind of hoping that she would bring something to the table, because you generally don't when it comes to my rant.
No, because I'm okay with Christmas.
That's why I don't like it. You can't be trusted.
Go ahead and search the Clutch and Wiggle Experience on iTunes, Stitcher, Podomatic, Podgods Network. You can hear us on the Indie Authority Thursdays, and the Clutch and Wiggle Entertainment Radio Network on Thursdays. Just simply do an internet search. Clutch and Wiggle Experience. You will find everything. Our website, our Tumblr. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter as @Clutch_43, @DUBigWiggle, and we'll speak on behalf of Ditzy. It's @DitsWit, WIT, the letter D, and the word tits. The Clutch and Wiggle Experience, folks. Mental masturbation for your immature adultery. For Rob, he is Grinch Wiggle, saying adieu for this week. Next show is the day after Christmas. We hope to be live, so stay tuned. For Rob and Grinch, we're out for this week. Have a Merry, Merry Christmas, at least coming from me.
Post-game show is brought to you by... Christ, I can't find it. The hell with